I do want to mention our sponsors. We do have Black Sheep Agency is a sponsor. They are dedicated to serving our community. We strive to organize an army of co-conspirators who share a common vision. Together with our clients and collaborators, we unite around one thing: building a future we can believe in. Fort Bend Chamber also is a sponsor. They enhance and promote the thriving economic environment in which we live and work. As a major contributor to the economic prosperity, a community's vitality, the tourism market, we are committed to maintaining, improving excellence, quality of life we enjoy. I do recommend the Fort Bend Chamber has some pretty good weekly webinars. If you want to check out their Facebook page, they're typically free right now. But they get some good speakers in there. I've listened to a few of them, everything from finance to health to politics, local politics. I highly recommend checking them out. They are pretty good too with sharing any kind of grant work that's coming out. So if you guys are looking for PPP loans or grant loans, they're a really good resource to help you kind of find how to apply and get kind of that money, who to call. So they're a great place to call if you're kind of stuck on all that. My company, Global Specs, is also a sponsor. I'm not going to go into a bunch about me right now. And also Nixie Host, right? Nixie Host. I don't want to forget them. Nixie Host, make sure I'm saying their name right. Yeah, Nixie Host. They are a local hosting company. So if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend it. They're really good. I have not personally used them. I plan on using them for a couple of clients, but they're very good. They've got a great support, and I reach out to them, see if you can chat, see what they say. They've got some good packages in there, especially if you're starting out or even if you have an agency. So highly recommend that. And the next thing I do want to introduce is lovely Joanna. Who, Joanna, I tried to ping you in Facebook. I can't find you. I was trying to ping you in the group and stuff. Are you part of the Facebook group?
Hang on, I was muted. I'm not. I don't know. I don't go on Facebook. So
okay, well that makes sense. No
part of the problem there.
That would be a problem, yeah. Yeah, so I just want to introduce you. She's going to talk about, hold on, let me get my over here. She's going to talk about optimizing your dashboard, right? To making sure that you can, Joanna, you go ahead. I didn't get a great full bio from you, but you are the owner of
Bonadilla Web Studio.
Bonadilla Web Studio, thank you.
It's mostly me. Well, it's only me, but I was like, well, if I'm gonna have an LLC, I might as well give myself a fun name. So
Bonadilla, I like it. Is there a particular reason for Bonadilla?
It's a made-up word. It's kind of like my last name, Bonner and Armadillo. So
okay. Very cool. And how long have you been in working with WordPress?
So I guess I was first introduced to WordPress in 2010. I had graduated college. I had my first job right out of the bat. I had gotten a graphic design degree from the University of Houston, and but they made us learn code, and it made sense to me. So I kind of marketed myself as a web developer and a web designer. And so then I got put into this situation where it was like, okay, we have this WordPress website. You have to build it. Chop, chop.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So you're going to talk about how we can optimize our dashboard, the back end of WordPress, right? So when you log in, all of that. I do want to, this isn't a webinar, guys. This is a meetup. So if you guys have questions, feel free to kind of, speak up. If you've got questions later, for sure, or throw it in the chat, or I don't know, I don't have a Q&A. This isn't a webinar, so there's no Q&A in here. Also, we are going to have, after Joanna's given her presentation, we'll have like if there's anyone's having an issue or questions about WordPress, now that'll be the great time to bring it up. I'm sure Joanna is going to talk about certain things that maybe you guys didn't know, and feel free to ask questions, but this is really more of a interactive, and we're all here to learn. So awesome. Joanne, go
Yeah.
ahead, take it away.
Okay.
You should have access to be able to share your screen.
Okay. Doing so now.
Okay.
Okay. Um, I think I should just hide everyone's videos. Yeah, I'll do that. um, so this is a presentation called Simple WordPress Admin Adjustments to hopefully make someone's life easier. It might be your life. It might be the person that you've voluntold to be your website editor. Could be your mom. I don't know. I've had my mom ask for a website. It's like, here you go. So just, hopefully it will make someone's life easier. So why would you ever want to spend some time on the WordPress backend in the admin area? So you've typically spend a lot of time on the front end. You've looked inside of yourself and around you, and you've analyzed all of the bits and pieces of your business to make sure that your website, the front end of it, serves you and your business, that it's doing something worth it to have. But what about the WordPress admin side? Like, I don't think it gets enough attention. Maybe you move the dashboard widgets around, or you change your WordPress profile color so that all of the WP admin interfaces, like maybe it's red for you instead of the default gray. But like when I don't give attention to the admin side of a website, I still find myself like scanning, like starting at the top, scanning the menu to just find something that I should just be able to like click and know that it's there. And teaching people how to use WordPress, like there's a lot of WordPress labels and they're not easily changed in just through WordPress. And like if your blog is called or if your blog posts are more like resources, then why shouldn't you be able to rename that in the WordPress backend? So here's some before pictures. Yeah. So yeah, what if you could reorganize a few items, create a tab here and there, rename some things, add dashboard widgets that are actually useful. They might communicate some things for those who aren't used to WordPress to help them find what they need. And what if navigating the back end of WordPress wasn't similar to untangling Christmas lights? It could be nice. So what makes this effort worth it? I guess it matters. It's different for everyone. Does it make a difference? Does it make it worth it for you if it shaves seconds or minutes off of one task? If you are doing the same task like multiple times per week, then I think that would make it worth it. Does it make explaining how to complete a task to someone else easier? For me, it definitely makes it worth it. Does it increase your understanding of all the inner workings of your website? When I build a website for a client, I try to make sure that they kind of understand most of how everything works. And I think what the changes that I'm going to show to you today, that they would help increase someone's understanding of their website. And then, does it give you happy tingles inside? I love tidiness and organization, and the Instagram photos where everything's like laid out in a grid, but it's not touching, like those are real nice. So there could be more things that make it worth it for you. So if you are ready to tidy up the admin side of your website, let's do it. Here we go. So where do you start? So just like the front of your end of your website, you want to think about who is using the back end of the site, and what do they do the most frequently? What's the most important thing that they do? If you are selling projects or products, obviously you want to be able to access that product information quickly and be able to like export a report with no notice, make it easy for yourself, or the user who's doing that. If you have a person who is managing SEO, like depending on how many SEO plugins you have installed, hopefully it's not more than one, but like if there's a whole suite of options and there's a lot to kind of sync together, you want that to be in one place. And the plugin author might have already done that for you, but what if they didn't? Yeah, and then you have to think about what can you expect the person who's going to be using the back end of the site to understand. When I built a website for my mom, I made sure that she never saw any code or HTML, because that's not her thing. But I had to think about like, what is she going to need to do on this website, and how can I make it friendly for her? Yeah, and then like what functions of the website are integral to the business? This could mean online learning, selling products, selling access to something, managing account, communicating information, or managing users. Maybe like you want to know if you have a lot of users or you're selling access or have online learning, you might want to have a quick and easy way to see like when's the last time that someone logged into your website, and how can you get that information to yourself without having to like search and then export as a CSV and then edit that CSV, like, yeah. So I think after you understand how it's going to be used, I think the first thing you would do, or first thing I would do, is arrange the menu to taste. So I would hide unneeded menu items. I would add labeled dividers with some colors if you can code. There might be a way to do this without code, but I haven't figured it out yet. I'd put the most frequently visited areas at the top, and I'm going to demonstrate this in just a moment. And I'd put the settings and the utilities towards the bottom. And then I would add custom menu items to easily access hidden or nested areas. So the plugins that I use to make this happen is I use Admin Menu Editor and Admin CSS MU. And I found these in the I don't know, what is this called? The WordPress plugin area.
The repository?
Yeah, repository, that's the word. Okay. I found these here, and I like looked around, and I looked at all of the screenshots and looked at the reviews. And so those are the ones that I found work really well. What I have for you to show is a website that is not tidied at all. So what you see now does not practice what I am preaching. I figured we would go through some of that together. So because I know where this is going to show up, like when I add the admin menu editor, it shows up in settings menu editor. Excuse me. And it looks like it's just the list of these different areas. And then I could even, if I needed to, I could edit the things that like the sub menus. There we go. If I needed to. So what I like to do is I like to break things into categories for sure. I added a lot of different plugins that I don't even need to this website to just make it messy. But so let's see, let me remind myself. Yeah, new menu item. You can tell it to not even open a page, and then you can put it in a title. So if I have content, then I would do that. Type in content, And so then I would kind of drag and drop these pieces to, like, I don't know, if pages were more important to me, then I would want to put pages first. If blog posts were my thing, then I would put blog posts first. And then I want to think about these other things. If I have, so you can also copy and paste. Here we go. So then I'll make another section. This was a separator. Here we go. No, one more. Here we go. So let's see what else we have here. There's products. So there's selling. So I could like put my store. If I actually had a store, then I would put there, or I would put the word products. And so that's also products. Here we go. WooCommerce. Those are all related. So depending on your need, like, I don't think I have ever, when I'm working on a client's website, I've gone into products a lot. As the website developer, I don't necessarily really look at analytics or marketing, but I know that those are still important. So I don't really want to hide those for other users. So I would definitely keep those there. If you have a whole part of your website that's focused on generating leads, then you could have like this forms area. I would add a forms, here we go, or like a lead generation area. Because it might not just be getting forms. You might also have like a messaging app or something where there's communication going on. If you use HubSpot or something like that, there's things that tie in. And so if there's HubSpot settings page, then I might put it there to connect to leads. All sorts of different things. Let's see. Oh, and then I always put, oh, here's SEO. I think I put SEO in its own special section. Here we go. SEO. And okay. I put looks together, like the things that people are going to see. And then I put like all of the utilities down at the bottom, because that way, like if I know I need to get a backup from my backup plugin, then I can just go all the way down and then I don't have to look very far. But I don't want to, you don't have to do a complete job for this demo, so I'm not gonna. So you click Save Changes, and then you can immediately see some different things here. There is the ability to change the icon that you see, but I'm gonna show you what I do with the other plugin, the Admin CSS MU. And so it's gonna kind of remove the need for these icons.
Hey, Joanna, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can this be done by user? Like if I have an admin, like when I come in an admin, I don't want to, I know where everything is because I've done it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But for a customer, I can see, I would want to do this for them. If I give them, you can create user accounts, different
Mm-hmm.
levels. Can you do this by user?
I think so. It's definitely
Type, I should say.
capability.
Okay.
And then there's this whole advanced options area as well.
Okay.
Over there in the corner, lower right-hand corner, it says to do that, you need the pro version.
Oh, there you go.
Role-based menu permissions,
Gotcha.
items from specific users,
Wow.
menu import, export, change menu colors. Okay. So, and it might be worth it. I've never paid for the pro version, but like if you don't code,
right,
and you need all of this functionality, it might be worth it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks.
Does this also give you capabilities when you're putting them in order? Can you nest them so that you don't have this big long list and they're nested?
Yes. So let's do that with this area here. So copy paste. paste. Here we go. So let's put like looks. This might not be how I would do it, but I'm just showing you what's possible. So I think you can just, if you click on it, you can drag it over. Let's see, because this has a child menu here. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, you just add a custom menu item. Are we able to drag it over? No. What you could do, what could we do? Target page. I wish I could just drag it over. I know if you really wanted to do that and you were you'll do whatever it takes. What you would do is you would probably hide this option. So you got to be careful. There is this button with an X, and that's deleting the item. And that's, you can't really undo that. Not easily, I don't think, but you can hide an option, and that's just going to take it away from here. It's still going to exist. That link is still going to exist. So then I would, to clean things up, you could hide them here. And then here you could add that link here. So we could put appearance and then the URL. You'd want to like copy it from here, or you could grab the URL here, themes.php. Not that. Here we go. I mean, just everything looks the same. Custom URL, here we go. Let's see what that does. Save changes. Okay, so now I have looks, and appearance isn't showing up here, but when I hover over it, then I can go to appearance. And then I don't see all of those different things. So there's some, I don't know, there's some different stuff there.
Looks like you'd have to spend a little time and work to get all the other pages to show up. You would just have to know, like, if, for me, I can see doing this and then having like a base and then just, you know, doing it for every new website, you know, but maybe the pro version does more too.
Maybe it does. Yeah, I've not actually tried the pro version. I should have probably before this, but yeah. And if you try it, post in the meetup some comments and I'll check it out. But
when you drug an item over there into the right-hand column, down at the bottom of the yellow box, there was a show advanced, more advanced. Okay, click on that. Okay, down to show more advanced.
Window title. Yeah. Cut, copy, paste. I wonder, hang on. Copy, paste. Interesting. I'm not sure it has the capability to do something nested inside of something that was nested. I can see it getting a little bogged down with that. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, why isn't there a way to kind of like put some of these things in a section and then kind of just hide it until someone clicks on it? So maybe I'll just stay up late and code that tonight. We'll see. Okay, so those are some really good ideas though, really good questions. So after I do that and I create these titles, they still don't stand out enough for me. Like I need more contrast. So that's where that other plugin comes in, which is, but it's an appearance and I hid appearance. So I'm gonna unhide. Yep. Okay. Save changes, here's appearance. Admin CSS menu. Oh, wow. And then there's like all this extra stuff there. So what I do is, I mean, I have this on another website and I should have just copied the code there, but I'll show you my whole process. So I go here, I inspect element. And if you're afraid of code, then this part might not be for you. But if you watch what I do and you think it's easy enough, then feel free. I don't think you're going to hurt anything here because we're just changing the CSS, and that's not changing the way it functions. It's just changing the way that it looks. So I inspected that element, and I know what I'm looking at with the code when I hover over it. So what I like to do is I like to, I guess you would also have to know some HTML if you did it yourself, but then I can just give you this code. So I do this, and I just choose a different background color. Aqua's gonna make our eyes vibrate, but that's okay. And then when you choose a different background color and you make that lighter, then you want to choose a color of the words and the letters that will contrast against that. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's pretty terrible, but there's contrast there. It's very clear now, like where the sections are, and that's gonna help you find some things. So let's just make it.
I like that. I like the thought of that, though. I like being able to break it out like that. Just that simple thing, just easier to organize it.
Yeah, 8. That's a good gray. But it didn't do anything. Oh, I know what. Okay. So I'm gonna just try to make it quick, nice and cool. And then I can provide this code to you if you are interested. Here we go. Color. Gotta have like the good indentation. I also like teach kids how to code. And so I'm just really in that like we have to indent well. What do they have here?
Well, if it helps, I'm a kid. I'm trying to learn to code. I saw Python earlier. So I'm trying to learn.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's a div. Here we go. So that should work. Yeah. And then I usually hide the icon just because it doesn't need it. And so that's this. And so then I do. Okay. Let's see how we like it. I think I also like disable the hover over thing, and because that's annoying. And I move the words over a bit, but you get the idea. And so I think, yeah, when I give you the code to use for this, then I'll make sure that I include that and have comments so you can see what everything does. Yeah, that'd be good. Let me take a screenshot of this though. So yeah, just like that simple change helps you figure out, like helps you see more what's going on. Where are the sections? What's relevant to you in the moment that you're looking at your site? Okay. So the next thing I would do is update the listing pages. I didn't know what else to call them, but I'll show you what I mean to be more useful. So it's when you're looking at like the all pages table or all of the blog posts or all of the users. Sometimes WordPress includes things, or the plugin that you installed is like, you need this in the column. And so they add things to those columns, and it's hard. It may or may not be something that you care about or that anyone who's looking at the back end of the site cares about. So I use admin columns. I use the pro version because I also use advanced custom fields and WooCommerce and the different tie-ins. They're like, oh, you need the pro for that. But I have installed on this test site the free version, so we will see what we can do with that. So I don't think, okay, I have one post here. But let's see, there's, a title, the author, categories, tags, date, and SEO stuff. So if I'm the only one if I'm the only person going into this website, I don't necessarily need to know about the author. And I don't know, there might be other things that I care about, or maybe I want to sort categories or tags by in a certain way. So I go here to edit columns after installing admin columns. And then I can see all of these columns here. Like each of these rows represents one of the columns that I see in that view. And then if I wanted to, I could even go to these other similar layouts and edit what I see there. So you can remove author, and I don't care about SEO score or readability score. I might care about SEO title. That seems cool. It's I can clean it up, and just removing some things it's gonna give you those tingles. You can also change the column width here. So that was kind of weird where the title's so long now that I've removed some of the items. So if I wanted, I could just remove that and they would all be equal-ish or resized to the content that's inside of them. I guess that didn't do anything. Other applications for this. So with pages, because on some of the sites that I work on, I want to see when was it last updated? I want to see when it was created and when it was last updated. And that's because there's some just the page, I don't know. It's there's so many pages on this one website, and they if there's a lot of people working on it. And so if someone else worked on it recently, then I want to look at it before I go in. And if no one's touched it in 3 years, then I can go in and just do whatever I want. Remove. So then, title, author, date. So then you can add a column, and you can see the things for pro. But you could add, let's see, if there's attachments, if there's an image here, featured image, let's do this. I don't have any featured images on my pages, I don't think, but we can see. You can click save, and then you can even rearrange these based on the information that's useful to you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have featured images, so there you go. I guess, yeah, the date, it says last modified and published, but I don't know. It's not nice. It's not neat, or it can do better. So I might break those out into 3 columns. It might not bother you, so you don't have to worry about it. Password protected, permalink, slug. It just depends on what's your priority. Maybe ID. So when I have a client and I know that they're going to need to access the ID for whatever reason, course management. I have a client who has a lot of courses on their website. And so there's some process, and I don't actually remember what it is at this moment, but where they need to know the course ID to plug it in somewhere else. And so I have added ID to that first column of that view of that post type. And then, so then I'm like, you don't have to hover over edit and find it in the URL, because that's the other way to find the ID. You can just see it right here. This is the ID. Or let's see. I had a website with users who were purchasing like a camp admittance. It was like a Girl Scout camp. And so they could sign up some various daughters to attend the camp. And so on the users tab, I had a column where it said how many campers they had registered. And so then my mom could go in and look and see, like find the person's name and say, oh, they have 3 campers. Does this match this other paper over here? Because they were working on getting off of paper and onto digital. So they were trying to like sync and double check all of the different things. And so that was a helpful column for them to have. I'm trying to think of something else, like other columns that I've added. Let's see. I don't know. But yeah, admin columns. It's a good one. Okay. The final thing I would do is I would clean up that dashboard. So like, oh, and this is text that I forgot to remove. So ignore that, please. So the dashboard, this is what it looks like when you don't touch it. Like I have not gone in and tried to change any of these things. But if you want to get rid of some of these things, or it doesn't seem helpful to you, you go to screen options and you can just uncheck all of these items. There we go. But then there's nothing here, and it's a page that could be useful, but it's not being used. So for this one, I was running out of time for all of the testing. So you can just experience this with me as I test. So I added a few different plugins to try out. I think, oh, there's Ultimate Dashboard, WP Dashboard Notes, Dashboard Widget Suite, Dashboard Sticky Notes, and Dashboard Notes. Have any of you used these or anything like it? Okay, maybe not. So creating a dashboard note would make sense if you were working with other people and you needed to communicate, but you wanted to put information somewhere, excuse me, where everybody could get to it. So let's see, I activated this plugin. Where did you show up? What did I do? Dashboard notes. Let's view some details. It says leaving a note is easy. Okay, so they do this through the widget area. That's not something that I would like. That's not my first choice, to have to go somewhere else to add this widget. But here we go, admin only. And then I guess you could add any of these widgets to that area. That could be good. And then, are there special widgets that they installed? It looks like no. Okay, so then you can just add some text to your dashboard and say how to find images, or how to upload images. You can make it friendly, like, hey Barb, click on or find the media item in the menu, or click here. Like, you could even create some quick links for yourself You can just copy link location, create a link. Here you go.
I like to put like the support links, support question, if you need help, here's
Oh yeah.
here, if you need help with your host, go here,
Yeah.
things like that. Phone
That's-
numbers to call.
Okay. So here we go. Dashboard notes. Once you've created the widget, then you can give it some different things. Yeah. Orange, include a logo, show. That's interesting. Okay, well, let's just see.
That's how I do work. Like,
Yeah.
well, let's just try it, see what it looks like.
So here we go. Now Barb knows how to find the media item in the menu. That's
Now,
not.
yeah. Now, if you click on post, I'll bet you that shows up on everywhere.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is kind of cool, but not so much.
yeah. It's depending on what you need.
Lots of control on that.
Yeah. They should make it like clickable, like closable.
Yeah, hide it.
The
Yeah.
annoying things that
Yeah.
plugin authors put in.
Yeah.
Give
But-
my plugin a rating, please. Okay, well, that's interesting. So that's, this might work for a lot of people. And I think it does because it had some pretty good reviews. It wouldn't be my first choice. Christina, what do you typically use?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We use, let me grab it really quick. The one that we use. I'm trying to think. It's not video user manuals. That's to share videos on how to use WordPress. It's a plugin. I'm trying to think. Dang it, because I just talked to the author. Hold on, let me grab him because I know who it is. What's his name? Where is he? There's Brian. Because I actually had to go talk to him because it wasn't working.
Oh,
White Label CMS.
okay. Yeah, I've tried that out, but I'm not too I don't know all of the ins and outs.
Yeah, it helps if you want to brand your dashboard for your company. Like say you're an agency, freelance or whatever, you can put your logo in there. But I think you can also adjust the dashboard. I haven't done so much of the dashboard but you can add your logo in the upper left. At the very bottom, like I have in the very bottom, click for support, right? Global spec support, and to the bottom of every page. So it's got some nice tools in here. Here, I'm going to share it here. This is what I use, but
Thank you.
and it'll actually let you create a custom login page. So you can put we usually put our client's logo. So when they don't see the WordPress logo, they have their logo when they log in. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay, this other plugin, which is Dashboard Sticky Notes. This one is interesting. It showed up here when you use admin menu editor. Then when you install a plugin, they're trying to put their plugin based on some information that might not apply. So after installing a plugin, you'll have to look for that where the menu item is showing up and possibly move it if you want to. But this created like a whole new section, and then I can add a sticky note. I can do it with the classic WordPress editor that I'm used to. Could add a form. That could be really helpful if you have Gravity forms installed. And then this is interesting too, this output option. So you can target a group or a user.
That looks like you can target a user type. That's cool.
Yeah. So let's see if it shows up on our dashboard. Okay.
Did you publish?
I think I did. I also did not exactly read all of the words. Like it says, no, here we go. Because I looked at it, I saw this and I saw that. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll create one.
Go back to the sticky. I think Did you publish it? Yeah, it's published.
Published,
All right.
update, normal, high, author,
Target group, do you have to select a target?
maybe.
Do you have to use the screen options to apply it?
I tried looking there, but let me do this and then I'll go back to the dashboard, refresh the page and check out the screen options.
And Joanna, loving everything so far. So amazing job.
Yeah, it's good stuff. There we go.
Here we go. Okay, so I didn't have to do the screen options. I just had to click target group. Wherever that was. See, too many tabs. That's also a problem, but we can't solve that one here.
Yeah.
One tab, you'll love it. One tab extension.
Yeah. So yeah, with no further, click here for support. You could put in a form. I could see this working well for like, I don't know. I was trying to think about like, if I had other people in my business, like employed in my business, and I'd had them working on some of my clients' websites, I'd want a way to like, for them to easily report that they've finished a task on the website and possibly communicate that to the client. But I don't want to pay for like a whole support ticket system. So I was like, well, what can I use that I already have access to? And so I could see something like this working for that. And then showing it up just for one of the roles or something. Oh, I clicked on something. Okay, so that one is an interesting option. It was last updated 5 months ago, and it says it's not been tested with your current version of WordPress. So that's something to look out for. But that's an interesting one. I think, how are we on time, Christina?
We're okay. It's 8 o'clock. So if you want to end it now, that's fine. We can get into some Q&A if folks
Okay.
have questions. Mark's got a very big question over here in the chat. So he's
Okay.
very concerned, but yeah, and keep going. If you've got other stuff, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could always just keep testing all of those dashboard plugins that I had. But like, there's also other things to consider that I haven't had enough time to like go through. So you might, depending on your needs, you might consider a plugin manager. And some of like, there's third-party tools that help you update plugins on your site or multiple sites. But when I say a plugin manager, I mean something that's inside here, like a way to categorize these. Or I just went through a site's plugins today with a client. Like, we were screen sharing and I was like, okay, this plugin is for this. This plugin is for this. This plugin is for me, but only sometimes. And then this plugin is for that. And so it would be a helpful way if I could easily categorize these plugins and say, these are like Joanna's plugins that she needs to do her job. And then, but these are like benefiting the front end of the site. And then these are for the back end of the site. Or like, these are what's related to all of the plugins that are related to e-learning and all of the plugins that are related to digital products or in-person product, or whatever the opposite of digital products are, an actual product. Yeah, or like, these are all of the plugins with leads, because if you have a form plugin, then you're gonna need an anti-spam plugin and you're gonna need security. And once you have all of these plugins, well, you need a plugin to help you speed up all of the plugins you're using. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid to use plugins. I know some people are, and I don't recommend that on every site based on your host, but the websites that I'm working on, like, I know that the server can handle it and that it's going to create a good, even the plugins I have, it's still going to create a good, speedy experience for my clients. But that is something else to look out for, like, because I've just recommended to you that you install 2 or 3 different more plugins. So if your site is already bogged down, you might want to take care of that before you take care of tidying up the back end. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, plugin manager helps with that. So you can, using plugin manager, you can determine which plugins are being used on different pages. Like I use it on my own site. So if you open up an About Us page,
Mhm.
I can go to that, and underneath there is all the plugins that actually get loaded every time every page opens. And I can like, well, I don't need this. I don't need these plugins.
Mhm.
And it'll only keep the plugins that I need for these pages. So typically
Okay.
they just kind of, so it's nice. It's page by, you can do page by page or just do the whole site, you know, where there's actually a dashboard side to it. You can choose the order of plugins that go up. So it's actually plugin manager can be very, very helpful if you're finding your site's actually slow,
Mm.
but you know you need 25, 30 plugins because you know you've got a complicated site, you've got a lot of lead gen, you got WooCommerce running, you got all this stuff. But a plugin manager can help. But the cool thing is you don't have to know code. You can just turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So I tried to, like, when I was looking at dashboard helpfulness, I typed in to the WordPress repository, like dashboard widgets or dashboard notes. And many things popped up. With this, I'm like, I don't need rank math. I don't need checkout field. Like, this looks promising. I feel like a file manager is something else, and it popped up because of the word manager. So, like, how do you,
Let me
what?
find one that I use.
Okay. Yeah, because when I see something that says it hasn't been tested with your current version of WordPress, like, I used to not be picky, but now I'm picky. I'm like, only the best.
You got to be
Only the best for my sites. Oh, okay. No, I did look at this one, but I didn't want it because it was like you had to create an account at this other website and then you connect it. And I wasn't interested in that.
So plugin organizer, it's called.
Okay. Oh, organizer. That's a good word. Okay. Is it just this one with like the puzzle piece?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, look at it. It hasn't been tested. It's a little behind, but there's been 2 massive updates lately. So I'm not really, 4 months ago it was updated, but so far it's working so far so good.
Yeah.
But you can, like it says, you can change the order of when plugins load.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You still kind of have to know what you're doing. I would really kind of have your developer maybe do this, but you can check it out. It's not gonna necessarily break anything, I don't think, but
yeah,
still take a backup. Always back up first before you start messing with this stuff. So
okay, plugin organizer.
yeah.
Cool.
But I do like the file manager. What do you
Yeah.
recommend for a file manager?
So that one is another one where I've had a few run-ins with a file manager, and then I didn't end up using it because it was like I had too much going on with like someone needed to upload a photo from the front end through either advanced custom fields or Gravity Forms, and then those 2 plugins, when they're uploading a file from the front end, they put the image in a different place, and then it was just too complicated. But like when you type in file manager to the repository, you get some interesting things. So like I don't know, I haven't tried any of these, but they seem interesting. This is the one that comes up a lot.
Yeah, see people are behind with their testing because they've just had 2 major updates recently.
Yeah. If it's within the last 6 months, then I'm willing to give it a try.
Or 600,000 installations. I'm pretty good.
Oh yeah. So this one looks like it's kind of a replacement for an FTP solution. And I don't know if that's exactly what I would be looking for. It
When you
might
mean
be,
file manager, do you mean the media or like files that have been uploaded, like you're saying, through Gravity Form kind of thing?
yeah, I was thinking like more like media.
Yeah,
Oh, and then Lisa's like, isn't this the plugin that had a lot of problems a few months ago? So
Mm.
maybe wait on that.
Yeah, do media manager. Search media manager
Okay.
instead.
Okay, well, this one showed up again, Filebird, WordPress Media Library, Folders, and File Manager. Organize thousands of WordPress media files in folders. That seems cool. As long as it's not changing anything.
Yeah, I think this is the one that I've heard about.
Okay.
That you can organize them properly, not by like,
Mm-hmm.
date only.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
able to- yeah, that looks good.
This looks interesting. I would want to see how it affects how these files are stored on the server. Like
Mhm.
I'd install it and then check out the FTP just to
Yeah.
see. But this does look interesting. And this would be applicable or relevant if you had a lot of products like this. Oh, sorry. Like this screenshot displays. It's like if you have a lot of shoes or shirts or bags. Okay. I might see if I can try it out on a client's website. They have the typical like team photos and like blog post featured images, but then there's all these client logos and they keep adding to them. And so I'm like, can we just like take all the client photos and logos and just put it in a nice little package? That might be nice.
I recently bought into Happy Files. I was looking at 10 different ones, or well, various different ones, and I finally, for now, settled with Happy Files. I was happy with it based on just testing different ones.
Okay.
Well, I do, I've got a separate plugin for renaming files, but if I can do two things with one plugin, that would be great to be able to organize it.
Tested for 5 minutes, then purchased the Pro.
That was basically me.
Yeah. 800 plus images.
Wow.
And then they were like, yes, this is what we need. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That person have tested it for 5 minutes. Maybe they were a little rash. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's how at first I was like, because I've tried different ones, and it just was very fluid and like easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's stable and it doesn't muck anything up.
And I think it was one of the first 3 that came up on the repository search.
Yeah. It looks, they do have a Pro. You said.
If you go back, the very first one was the one that went to the repository. If you go back to the search you had.
Yes. Oh, I opened it in a new tab.
There we go.
No, here we go. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks
6
promising.
days ago, guys. Hot off the press.
That was the other thing that I liked, that it was recently updated.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. 5 stars, 128, 5 stars, only one. Like, I'd love to know what the 1 star is. Like, what that, like, not very useful. Okay. He's got like 4 images in his media file.
Oh, but it's like, he was using the free version. Yeah, so just 10 folders for the free version. I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to see a chart where it's like, that shows the free versus the Pro.
Yeah, that's always my thing too. Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, okay, that's cool.
Hey, this is all good stuff. Yeah, I didn't know half the stuff. I like the idea of colorizing at least the headings and reorganizing it. But I think I would do that for customers, just because yeah, like you pointed out in the beginning, it just makes it easier for them to find stuff. But
Yeah.
for us as devs, I have to have the default, otherwise it drives me crazy because I'm like, where is that thing? It's normally here. It's not here anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is great.
Um,
Does anyone have any questions for Joanne?
this is the end.
Good timing.
Tiny website to all, and to all a happy holiday.
Nice.
I
We
just
need
know
to-
this is one of those areas that most of us don't really think about. We're always worried about everyone else and how it's going to look for them. So like having something that's more for us on the back end to kind of just, don't make me think, it's once you get it set up originally, do that at the very beginning of every site you're working on and you're set to go.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say thank you because I have a site that the client's gonna do most of the managing on, so I'm gonna make it easy for him not to screw it up.
Mhm.
I appreciate that.
I feel like, yeah, as WordPress developers, that's kind of my thing, is like, I want to make it easy for you to do this.
Yeah.
Even though
That
you
was the
might
whole-
still have me do it, but if I make it easy for you to do, it'll also be easy for me to do. And then,
Well, the whole purpose of WordPress was easy for them to do it in the first place, but yet here we are.
I think as you add plugins and features, when WordPress first started, it was just a blog. It was just a post. And you could make a page, but it was still a post. And, over time, we just demanded more and more and more of WordPress to just be like a full, complete CMS system. And so we just keep adding stuff. So I just don't think they've addressed the menu side, because what drives me crazy is when a developer creates a really great plugin, but they throw it in some random, like now all of a sudden my menu is like 10 feet tall. And it's just this goes on forever because that's where they want to be noticed. I'm like, no, man, it's got to be under settings. Stop with trying to put everything on the left menu. So,
or like, you install a plugin, and in your mind, you're going to find that their settings page under settings or something, or like, it just makes sense to you. That's what you're expecting.
Yeah.
And then they put it in tools, and you're like, no one looks in
No,
tools.
it doesn't go in tools. Yeah, exactly. Or they put it at the very top, like above everything. Like, no. That should be a rule. Nothing goes above the posts or the media. Nothing. It goes home, posts, media, pages, nothing else.
Have you found anything to manage the nag ads at the top of the admin page?
That was
No.
my final other consideration. I was on a site today and I was like, no, there's got to be a better way. I believe in a better world.
Yeah.
So that's my next thing, is to look for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some questions in the chat now.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh, here, Joanna, what's your favorite host plan level do you use that you're confident a bunch of plugins won't bog them down? Lauren's curious.
So, I mean, I really like Flywheel. And I know there are some people haven't had, I don't know, not everyone I've met who has been on Flywheel has loved it, but I love it. And I've tried GoDaddy. I tried Liquid Web, and Liquid Web was good. And then I was happy with Liquid Web, but then I was like, well, I mean, I would be a new customer over here, so I might as well get the Black Friday deal and try it out. And then with Flywheel, yeah. So then I did that with Flywheel, and then I just haven't ever felt the need to like find another thing, because I don't know, I just really like them. And it works. I can easily work on my local machine and connect it to the live sites in my hosting plan. If there's a security issue, I can contact the people, like the host people, the support team at Flywheel. Sorry, it's the end of the day and my brain's stopping working. I don't know. And the support's really good. And if I have a question, they try their best to help. So So I
Yeah,
don't
so people are saying in the chat, SiteGround, Flywheel.
know.
I've heard, so I use Known Host. Nixie Host is good. You guys don't forget our sponsor, Nixie Host. There's also, who am I, oh gosh, Houston IMA is Cloudways was another good one. Yeah, for personally, I choose hosts based on how their support, like how well do they answer chats, how quickly do I have to make calls, you know, there's just these, and do I get first level or do I get someone that knows WordPress? You know, that's, you know, you always, especially GoDaddy, everybody don't just no negative on the GoDaddy. Yeah. So Eric, yeah, WP Engine and Cloudways is out of Malta. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, Known Host is here. I think Nixie Host is here in Texas. SiteGround, Flywheel, they're here in the US, right? Where's Flywheel? Is
And-
Flywheel in the UK?
No,
No?
I don't
No,
think so.
Flywheel is owned by WP Engine.
Yeah,
Really?
just within the last 2 years.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right, there you go. That answers
Rest in
that.
peace, HostGator.
Mhm. Okay.
I was just curious, like what kind of level plan you look at within those, because I mean, I asked somebody the other day and I forget what company they said, but they had a dedicated server and I'm like, well, that's going to be good no matter where you are. So
Yeah.
obviously, you know, what level it is makes a big difference as well for, you know, there may be one company that, sure, if you're on a dedicated server, they're great. But if you're on more the starter plan for, you know, more of a small to medium site, are they not necessarily as fabulous? So.
I try not to do shared, anything like shared hosting that, yeah. You gonna say, Joanna?
I started using with SiteGround with their cloud server because it gives you a WHM and you can give each site a control panel. So that it's a little bit, it's not like the HostGator where it's, you know, all your sites under one control panel and you subdivide it as sub-sites. You know, that's how I originally started. But I like how this one, everyone has their own different cPanel. But I'm looking into going to Flywheel because of everything is per site basis, no other site. Because for example, if you have somebody all of a sudden gets tons of spam, you know, upload images, you know, in the cloud server, you know, it's all, since the customers are in one, it's still cloud-based, but if one customer messes up, it can affect all of those there. And I don't like that concept of it. So I'm thinking Flywheel where it's independent, plus I don't have to pay all the security stuff that I was paying $200 a month or a year for each site. They include all of that. And but my main thing is, what do y'all do about email? Because I was used to control panel email.
Oh,
I don't, oh, go ahead, Joanna.
So there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of my clients will use G Suite or they'll
use
have an
Office
email through
365.
GoDaddy or Office, whatever.
Yeah.
I use Fastmail and it is amazing. And so I just feel like everybody should give Fastmail more money because they're wonderful. It's like Gmail, but it's not Google. Like,
So they don't take your privacy away. They don't steal your data.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So for email, I recommend to everybody just don't use your host for email.
Oh yeah.
Find
use
somebody you
separate.
like that's not your host, because while GoDaddy and HostGator will do email, when you move to a real quality host like Cloudways, Site District, WP Engine, they don't do email anyway.
Yeah.
I do use Google for some things. If you're interested in privacy, look at Proton Mail
I have heard of
or Tutanota. They're out of Germany. Proton Mail's out of Switzerland.
Yeah, if you're in the agency business or a freelancer at any point, you should never provide email services. Like that just not should be on your radar. That should be handed off to, unless you're in IT. Unless you're IT and web design and developer, I get it. But for me, that is nothing that we handle with. Only we used to, but to be able to manage email is like your phone, your iPad, your desktop, and that's just like that's not I'm not going to do that anymore. So
Yeah.
that's, you got to get on a third party, get it off our servers. We won't even take you. If you're like, no, we've got a POP3 account, like it's not on our servers. You gotta move it out. So,
Well, and that's the thing is, if you change, let's say you want to upgrade your servers to somewhere else, guess what? Who's responsible for backing up and updating
Yeah.
and
no.
reinstalling? And
Well, and it's also you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want your server to go down, then your email and your website's down. So that's just, no, it doesn't make sense to do that. You can at least keep running your business if your email is on like a, you guys were mentioning with Google Apps and 365 and what?
Proton mail.
Proton Mail. Yeah. Or Fast Mail.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Hey, so I want to help out someone who came into the group. That was Mark. Mark, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Mark. Yeah. What can we help you with? You sound very frustrated with WordPress right now.
Well, no, you get what you pay for, right? We bought a package deal from a foreign company, probably,
Mhm.
and it's been 6 months of going back and forth trying to get a website up, and finally, I just told him, I said, make it live and let me figure it out anyway, because it's 3 days to make a small change to the way something looks, and anyway, you don't know what you don't know, though, and that's why I'm here is to figure out what kind of resources are out there available for me to get familiar with WordPress. I knew we were going to have to learn a little bit to be able to update content and that kind of stuff, but yeah, the design part of it, I think we still need some help, and we'll probably find somebody local that we can sit down with and kind of show them what we want, and then
Yeah.
at least there won't be a language barrier, right?
No. Yeah, I think you've got a couple people that have pinged you to reach out to them. I think Jorge, I think Eric, I don't know, a couple of guys, Lauren, Joanna too. Yeah, there's a bunch of us in the group, and they're all very, very helpful too. So
Great. Yeah.
is there anything specific that you were kind of like, okay, I tried this thing and I don't know what to do?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm too intimidated, but I like the Beaver. I took all the notes that the Beaver Builder, so I opened that tab. I'll go take a look at that and play with that. I need to probably start at a third grade level and work my way up from there.
Yeah, did someone share like a WP beginner site? Yeah, there we go. Lisa, WP beginner, it just kind of helps you with like basic stuff on WordPress. Beaver Builder is just extremely user friendly. But if it's just a plugin just within the page, it's okay. But if you're trying to do a little bit more complicated stuff, yeah, you might need some more help.
I got to learn terminology, plugins, right? I mean, I've heard plugins,
Yeah.
sound bites before, but now I'm understanding that's how everybody sells and improves and builds
Mhm.
the better
There you
widget.
go. Yep. And WP Beginner will help you understand the difference between like a post and a page, what those, the difference in those are. So
Yeah, good. I'll check that stuff out, and then I'll maybe I won't feel so lost next time I join you guys.
yeah, keep coming back. That's what we're here for, to help answer any questions.
I will for sure.
Yeah, for sure. If you get stuck on something, for sure.
We have a small fitness center in LaPorte, about 3 years old now, and it's time to expand. And the only advertising we've really ever done is on a Facebook page.
Mhm.
We haven't had a website or even felt a need for one. We've grown organically by word of mouth. But if you really want to get out there and
Times
grow,
are changing.
you gotta you gotta have a website. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, good luck. Yeah,
you.
awesome. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions or problems? Yeah,
I
Marcus.
do. First question. I'm sound like the noob. I'm probably only a step ahead of Mark. First of all, I noticed, well, what I've had in the past. Let me back up. Before CSS came out, I was an HTML web designer. I did do HTML. That shows you what we were still using tables to lay stuff out. Let's show you how old I am. All right. So that all said and done, I've decided to come back into the web design business, trying to make a little extra side money at home. Plus, I have a little t-shirt business and stuff like that. So what I've noticed is back in the past, I would try to subscribe to, say, a template farm, if you will, a place that makes nothing but templates, some of those websites out there. And then I'd go back because I bought a membership and, well, they're no more. So first question off the top, because I'm not much of a graphic design person, are there good template sites out there that y'all recommend?
my feedback with templates is they get so tight into what they're using only. So if you want to customize anything later on down the road, it's really hard because you're limited to like the technology that they have built into it. So if you try to change something, it'll mess up the whole site. And they're like, it's if it's gonna stay like the way it is always, and you're gonna keep it like that forever, it's quick fix. But the page builders now, a lot of them come in with different elements that you customize to how you want it. So they'll come in with templates of that. For example, let's say Beaver Builder, if you haven't heard of that yet. It's pretty much a visual way to build your website, and they come with samples of stuff that you can do in, and then they have like ultimate add-ons, which above and beyond, they have extra themes as well. But Elementor does that. Various others have those capabilities. And what happens is you could actually look at a site that you like and mimic a lot of it using those tools, which is what I've been doing is, I'll look at a site with customers and say, well, what elements do you like? And I'm like, oh, I can build that using, a custom button or a dual button or a hero section. And you're able to kind of piece it together versus getting stuck to those. So ultimately you have unlimited ability to customize what they have internally. But that's my part with the templates is thick only.
Okay, so and again, backdating myself, I prefer DOS over Windows. And yes, I've been doing computers that long, since DOS 1.0.
Hey, I had floppy drives, man. Floppy drives and the whole, like the 5.5 inch, not the little ones, the big 5.5 inch.
How about the real floppies, the 8-inch ones?
Yeah.
How about storing on cassette tape?
Oh,
yeah, I had one of those too, and I even used to have to take my phone and stick it down into the modem, just like War Games. So yeah, I've been playing with computers since you could get any color monitor you want, as long as you want it green or amber.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, that said and done, I'm real good about I've done a little, I've tinkered with PHP, I've tinkered with CSS, usually hack and slashing somebody else's work. So my question is, because I suck at WYSIWYG, I really just, I have no layout, but I can take a layout and make it great. I just can't create a layout. I guess is why I'm asking.
I would recommend Astra themes, ASTRA. They actually work with Beaver Builder or Elementor, and they have a bunch of themes inside their I don't know, what do you call it?
The baby themes.
Yeah. So if you go to Astra, ASTRA, I use it. I've got a developer's license to it. And so like you, if we just need to throw out a website pretty quickly, we can pull in some of these themes and just kind of adjust it. But it's so flexible that I'm not tied to that theme. Like Jorge is saying, is just that theme. The problem when you have like themes from, I'm thinking of, oh God, what's that?
Forest.
Yes, thank you. Theme
Yes.
Forest. So I've inherited about 10 websites. We have care plans. I manage about 150 websites. About 10 of them we took on were from Theme Forest, and they are a burden on my back because they'll have these plugins that are tied in, like you were saying, tied into the theme, so locked in, and we're having issues because one of the plugins is needs to be updated. It's like 2 versions behind. There's actually a security problem.
Slider
But-
Revolution.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's probably
Slider
Slider Revolution.
Well, that one, no, it's that one in WP Bakery.
Ah,
So WP Bakery came out, but we can't update it because it's tied to the theme, and it's the author of the theme is responsible for pushing out the new update. And unless we go to WP Bakery, which I'm like, can we just go there and buy a license, please? Because this is ridiculous. It's been months now. It's still not been updated. And it becomes a concern for me because if the website goes down, who do you think they call? So these themes, and we find also that they're very slow. Their performance is very poor because the code is just jam-packed of just crap. really bad programming. It looks good in the front and it lets you do all this kind of fun stuff, but in the end, the performance is really, really bad, very, very slow. And we're now in the middle of converting one of these themes into an Aveda Beaver Builder. Because again, like we were just saying earlier, I can control what plugins show on what page now. Yeah, so just kind of be careful of those. But yeah, check out okay, let me find the website for you.
Are there any Genesis fans in the room?
Genesis is a good one.
Yeah, I use Genesis.
Okay. So I don't know. My background is weird, but before I fell in love with Beaver Builder, I was in love with Genesis. And it helped me understand how WordPress is working. And I don't know, it was cool. But from so if you have that developer brain, and you're not, the developer brain, then definitely check out Astra or Beaver Builder, but you might also look at Genesis.
I've heard real good things about Ocean WP and Generate Press.
A new one that's come out that not many know about is Cadence WP.
Yep.
It's supposed to be really quick on Google speeds and everything, and it adds on to the whole Gutenberg blocks and everything. They're earlier on, but I forgot who it was that promoted it, and I was like, dude, I want to buy into this before it gets big. But I don't think it's there yet where you can just quick move on to it like Beaver Builder or the
Elementor.
One thing about Genesis, if you get WP Engine, Genesis is included now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Also Flywheel.
Yes. And Local by Flywheel, which is really slick.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Very cool. But yeah, I think we have Studio Press in there, and WP Astra are the two markets that we would recommend you check out.
Awesome. And well, I have probably a whole lot of questions. I can probably spend
another thing you might look at, since you're just getting started, and you've got the background, full screen editing is coming soon. So you might grab one of the beta themes that has full screen editing and just play with that for fun.
Okay. Yeah. Because even now I turn off the WYSIWYG because I hate WYSIWYG. It's never what I see. So
we need to give him Themer so he can have kind of the best of both worlds.
There you go. Yeah.
I think of like the WYSIWYG parts are like what the client would use, and then just figuring out how to like include those spaces for content, but then like using something else to make a column. Yeah. Or using something else to structure the page. I don't know. I think Gutenberg has a lot of really good things, but they're like, if you try to use that for your whole page layout, I think it's going to be really tough.
Oh, guys, man, have you guys used Beaver Themer? Okay, what are you talking about? Oh my God, I build full-on e-commerce sites with Themer, with the header, the footer.
Well, no, that's fine. Like I'm saying, using Gutenberg to be like the page design.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like just WYSIWYG in general.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You're talking about, okay, Gutenberg for sure. Yeah. It's
I guess that's a good point. I was thinking of WYSIWYG as like just the text box, the WYSIWYG thing.
That's primarily what I was talking about. I use a layout that I like, use that layout. But even then, when I go to page editors, I pull up Dreamweaver, I start the code, and then I drop the code in, and on the I turn off the WYSIWYG and put on the classic editor and do HTML.
Well,
I haven't opened up Dreamweaver in 10 years.
take up Jorge on his offer to play around with those sites, because I think, I mean, even you'll find the places that you can do your coding thing, but then like it should be intuitive. Like,
Well, that's probably, I'm looking for a better efficiency, because obviously that's not efficient, and so that's what I'm looking. I mean, I pretty
What,
much
what,
have.
what I can do is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Showcase you. I had a client that I wasn't able to help out for a while because of COVID and Harvey and construction and stuff. And I was able to redesign parts of his site overnight, just by, he said, hey, I really like how this site looks. And so using that Beaver Builder and Beaver Themer, like, and within one night, you know, because I was worried that, wait a second, I might lose this client now. I was like, let me take care of them. And now that our house is done, and I was able to go in and really mimic certain parts of it really quick because of it, of the tools available. So I can probably kind of show how I did that. I'm not saying I'm not one of the best people out there web design wise or anything, but getting something up and running that looks okay is good. This year, I'm definitely planning on learning and growing more, like with people like y'all.
Awesome. All right. Well, you know, it's 8:30. If anyone's got any other questions, I'm more than happy to stick around, but I think everyone is kind of taken off right now. But yeah, just thank you, Joanna. That was awesome. That's really helpful. Thank you so much.
I'm glad everyone liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was kind of nervous.
Yeah, everybody have a happy holidays. I will see you guys next in January. If anyone, I'm going to probably put some like a survey. I would love to know what folks are interested in terms of topics. You know, it seems that we kind of get a mix of marketing, but also, you know, things like what Joanna just did, a little bit more on the developer side, and which has been really, really helpful. So yeah, I'd love to just, you know, ping me in Meetup or in the Facebook group, which, by the way, we have a WordPress Meetup Facebook group, and just ask questions in there. I'm noticing people are getting a little bit more engaged, and we're kind of asking more questions and getting more answers. But yeah, so thank you, everybody.
What is the Facebook group's name?
Houston WordPress Meetup.
What about us?
I put
What
the
about
link.
us Facebook people?
There it is.
Yeah.
Is that one it?
I
Wait.
think so.
You're
that's
the
the
one that's not on Facebook, girl. What are you doing here?
I logged in. It's for you. And I liked the post that I think you would ping me in. And so then you.
Oh, there you go. That is it. You had it right. You had it right, Joanne. You're good.
What about us non-Facebookers?
Oh, get on Facebook. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I don't know what to tell you. Because the problem I'm noticing is you get on the Meetup and you'll have somebody that's left a comment on Meetup, but it's been like 2 weeks, no one's seen it, because I don't think people regularly go there to help answer questions. So if you guys got any other ideas, we have a Slack channel actually, but it was more for WordCamp. I mean, we could set up a Slack channel.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the Slack channel, but you won't go on Slack either though, Rick, right? You're not really on that.
No, I use Slack, but I stay away from Facebook.
Okay.
I
What
don't
was
need
that?
For a topic or a subject matter that I use a lot is Gutenberg.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
anytime you want to tackle Gutenberg.
All right. That sounds good. Were you going to say something, Mark?
Recently,
I was just asking about Slack.
Yeah, Slack.
What is that?
Oh, Slack. That is it's I don't know, what would you guys describe it as? A mass
Collaboration.
Chat channels.
Yeah, it's a collaboration, real-time conversation. You can have groups, like channels, different channels, right? You can message individually. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty much like what everybody's using Discord and
Yep.
WhatsApp for.
Yep. A little bit like that. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, both of those would resemble that. But there may be changes to Slack now that Salesforce is getting ready to buy them. So
They just better not charge. There's gonna be a lot of unhappy people.
Salesforce does not make money free.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing up. Appreciate you. Don't forget our sponsors, and see you guys next week. Have a great holiday.